Yeah.
Now we're going to move on to our Let's Talk letter. If you have something that you want to submit, send it over to us.
Yeah.
Rex, we're going to do a speed round, so I only want you to answer this, and then we're
Okay.
going to move out. All right, so cool. This one says he's sleeping with multiple women while only pursuing one woman romantically. So she says she's been dating this guy, and they've been having an incredible connection. They can talk for hours and have had a few amazing dates. He's been honest with her from the start that he is sleeping with other women, and she somehow thought that she could change or that they would change after they hooked up, but it hasn't changed. She said she got hurt, so we talked about it, and he explained that he can date multiple people when the main focus is sex, but the romantic sort of dating he can only have with one person. That's pretty difficult for me to understand because I can only focus on that one person when the connection is amazing. This is my question. Is this a guy thing? Is it possible for you to date multiple people at once while only pursuing one romantic relationship? Or am I being naive and he's keeping his options open and playing the field? I feel like he was very honest with me every time we talked about it, but I'm struggling to fathom this. Any advice would be appreciated.
Man, uh, first thing first, that's not a relationship you should be in, right? I was that guy. I was that guy thinking that I could pour into multiple women, but find something that was going to be intentional about. I was the guy that thought that I could still have enough for me, even though I was giving everything I had to everybody else. I was that guy that thought that I could separate business and pleasure, right? But when it boils down to it, no, what you do in the pregame is going to determine what you do during the game,
Yeah.
right? So if you are a man in that situation and you're looking for something intentional, but you're still entertaining or still having sex with multiple women, then you're not ready for a relationship, right? Because once again, just because you think that there's a switch that you can flip once you have into a relationship, that's not going to happen. That same desire that you had, that same sexual appetite that you have built and created for yourself, it's still going to be there, especially if the person that you decided to commit to isn't on the same type of freak time that the other young ladies that was on. So you're going to desire that more. So if you're a guy in that position, for one, I want you to ask yourself, why do I even want all this? What is it doing for me? Is it making me feel good about myself? Is it making me feel like I'm more of a man? Is it giving me cool points from the guys? Or is it the fact that I don't have the self-control that I want? You got to ask yourself these questions. And then you got to ask yourself, well, how is this going to affect the person that I'm talking to, and how is it going to affect my behaviors in my relationship? How am I going to be able to control this once I'm in a relationship and maybe she's not as active as my last partners were?
Exactly.
Got to ask yourself these questions. Then you got to also, I always go to the root. What's the root cause for me to want to entertain all of these women?
Yes.
Right? You always got to get to the root. There's always something that's there, right? There's sometimes, people go through things just because it's the cool thing. It's an environment thing. But at the end of the day, got to get to the root. And if for the information for that young lady is to leave that relationship, no, that's not a guy thing, because women can have that same mentality as well. But if you know you want to be a husband, you know you want to be a wife, you know you're looking for something intentional, you align yourself with people that are looking for the same things. Because if you go into something expecting somebody to be who you want them to be and not who they show you that you are, you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
I love that, bro. You hit everything on the head, man. That's our letter. If you have submissions, make sure you hit the link in our bio and send in. It's a simple Google form you can fill out.
Yeah.